Hey,
What are we doing?
I don't know. We just talk about things.
Talk.
It's a new year.
Yes.
Well, it's been 1 month into New Year, and Lunar New Year's went by. That was like last week.
How was your Lunar New Year?
It's good. Spend time with the family. I'm still surprised Filipinos don't celebrate that.
Certain Filipinos do.
What
I'm
do you
not
mean?
like the more Chinese Filipino. Like how
Is it
there's
Chinese Filipino?
there's more like I guess culturally more Chinese. We do,
That Vietnamese is pretty Chinese.
yeah. Because I don't want to. I guess I don't want to generalize, but my family.
You should generalize.
Okay, my family and all Filipinos like them. We just do like American holidays. 'Cause America.
America number one. Also like President Trump. He came in. How do you feel? Because you're definitely different, because I voted for the guy
Yeah,
and you didn't vote, or you don't have to say, but
I didn't vote for the.
well, you didn't vote for him, yeah, yeah, or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
you just didn't vote at all because
Who knows?
the turnout was like low in general for the
What's
Democratic side.
so the way I explain it is like you know how you're rooting for like a sports team and like when your team sucks,
Uh-huh.
like you just like you fucking
You
you're
just
not
hide.
happy. No, you don't hide. You're just like I'm able to criticize my team. Like
Sure. Well,
I'm
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not like, "Oh, Democrats were so great." I'm like I don't even consider myself a true Democrat, I guess.
right.
But I am more middle left
Hmm.
leaning on most things, but
Hmm.
I do like guns. But I do believe also in proper gun safety and that people should, be trained and
Right.
I guess of sound mind to own one.
Sure.
It shouldn't be that easy. Like if I want to get a gun, you know, I'm gonna get a gun, but there are proper channels to how to get a gun, right?
Right.
You don't want just anybody.
Well, I don't think the like conservative people would disagree with that.
I know, but like every fucking like news outlet is like
Well,
the extreme of like they want
sure.
to take our guns.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, no, they
Honestly,
don't.
both sides. You sort of see it
Oh
on
yeah,
both sides now. I mean, I don't see it that way. I don't really root for a team. I actually not really team Trump or anything, or team. I just
yeah,
saw Kamala, and I just saw how like bad she was as a candidate.
yeah.
They didn't even have like a primary or anything. That it was pretty
She
messed up.
was chosen
Yeah, she
essentially.
was
I mean,
chosen. Yeah,
it's one of those assumed like, she's the vice president.
general, but I don't think
I think if they
she
wanted her
was
to be
good.
president, she could have been president. Like, why did they hide all that Biden
Well,
shit? Like, even
well,
I knew that guy was old, and they're like,
right.
"Come on, dude, really?"
2016, she didn't perform well. She got like totally outmaneuvered by Tulsi Gabbard
I
in
don't even
there.
know who that is. And
That is the yeah,
just from knowing nothing, assuming I know nothing,
right.
and
I
watching,
know nothing too, honestly.
yeah, and watching the news
Yeah.
at a glance as the average American, that
Yeah,
just like
yeah. We're two average Americans,
it's like,
honestly.
yeah, it's like the sport that you don't watch, but like it's always on. But like
Oh,
it,
yeah.
politics is a sport. Like there are
Dude,
people that just know too much of it. Like
yeah,
and we don't we just so happen to not follow everything. But just at a glance, looking
right.
at Kamala on both every news source that laugh, I'm just like, dude,
Haha.
why is she laughing?
Most people vote
I don't
on
like that.
vibes, though. Most people do vote on vibes and, like,
Sure.
that one policy they're passionate about. And
Right.
the Democrats were betting on, like, abortion and stuff, but that didn't really turn out.
Yeah. And I gotta say, there was no policy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
what were they
Yeah,
talking about
exactly, yeah.
except general, like, we can't go back? Like, yeah, I don't want to go back.
Right.
But like, what are we gonna go forward with?
Oh, speaking about politics is everywhere. I remember we'd go on our walks back when we worked together,
Mm-hmm.
and we would bring up like, oh, nothing is like, you don't want to talk about left or right.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to this. I had like a virtual date, like recently, really recently.
What is a virtual
It's
date
a
first?
call, like a FaceTime thing, and she was very liberal, way more liberal than you.
Well, yeah, I'm not
And
I'm liberal enough to be.
she's borderline communist,
Oh,
and so I was talking to her.
is she Russian?
No, she's actually Vietnamese, surprisingly, but
Call me bastard.
oh, that makes sense actually.
Hello.
I always think of more like the Vietnamese people here, and I keep on thinking that they anti-communist. 'Cause that's what I grew up with
Mm.
like
Well, in the OC, yeah.
NOC. Yeah, exactly. That's the Vietnamese.
Who are your neighbors over there?
Yeah, exactly. But like we're talking, and one of the things she said was like everything is political. Yeah, and you cannot separate. Because I asked her, could you date someone that doesn't agree with you politically? And that's what she said. It says, well, everything's political. And she gave the example of Amazon, how Amazon like is destroying the world. She thinks on her profile says capitalism is destroying the world. That's pretty much that.
Is she American Vietnamese or is she Vietnamese? Okay.
She's one of those Vietnamese that were like raising like that has Chinese ancestry.
Hence the communism.
Yep, both communist countries.
Mm-hmm.
She said a lot of things. Where she wanted like compassion. She wanted to distribute the wealth,
Mm-hmm.
but there was like no answer. Just like a lot of wants, a lot of hopes, but
Yeah.
no answer. I feel like that's a very common trend of
Yeah.
that. And I was saying that, yeah, that's true. And in these big companies like Amazon, the big Bezos, right? He has enough money to have like this hot girlfriend.
Bezo.
That even Mark Zuckerberg looking at.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jesus Christ. I mean, I remember watching the news and knowing her from the news. I never thought she was hot. Like she just looked weird to me.
Sure, sure. I mean, well, she has a lot of work done, right? I think
Yeah.
that's that, and it's sort of like the I don't know what was it like the yeah like Pamela Anderson type look, right? Some of that.
Pamela Anderson.
Yeah,
Nah, I mean, she had a lot of work
But Latina.
somewhere, not here. The like, she straight up looks like the
Well,
Joker.
they both sort of did that, right? Well,
I don't know.
well, I don't know. I don't do my research on this, but like this plastic surgery and stuff,
Sure.
I don't hate her or anything. I understand what's going and trying to get the curves and stuff. It's fine. I don't think she's ugly, but it definitely is not natural.
Yeah, it's like what a robot would think we
I'm
like.
not saying Jeff Bezos paid for that stuff, but like wealth and stuff, like you see all that stuff. I think it was if I was if I was more of a liberal and stuff, and I would
Mm-hmm.
watch President Trump's inauguration and see like Mark Zuckerberg there with Bezos, with
Yeah.
Google, with all the big tech
Yeah, that
CEOs. Elon is there, and they're all like in this gala, right? Right.
so like I don't know, like my internal thought was like, there's got to be a reason why everyone's suddenly like on this dude's shit. Like
Well, I
they
believe
probably want to pass some crazy technology.
yeah, exactly. I think Trump has been very transparent. That's actually why I like him. He says what he does. He said what he wants to do, and he's been doing them.
Yeah.
Bad or good. That's not what I'm talking about. But he's sort of transactional. If you do something good with him, he'll do something good for you. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of them are doing that. It's so transparent, or like the big tech companies are sort of like they're like showing themselves. They're like naked in public, showing like
Well, they kind of
Sure.
lied. Like I remember Zuckerberg was like, "Oh, we don't, abide to any political party."
well, in the previous one, they media like with Biden, they supported Biden in the media and everything. And now
Right.
this year he didn't, but like there were hints of where he was leaning. Like
I
he
mean,
was
how can you support a corpse?
like more so, yeah, exactly. But
Dude.
like yeah, there was things that that they were doing where they were saying like Biden like forced them and do something. It was more Mark Zuckerberg than
Sure.
the others.
So what about this chick? What about Amazon?
Well, she hated them because they own a lot of money and they just want to distribute the money and
Mm,
they don't recycle. It was sort of the general hate, right? Where like they're a
yeah.
big company, they're polluting the world, they're destroying forests,
Yeah.
they're gonna have boxes and destroying. But like, I told her I was like,
How
well,
old is she?
it's super convenient. 29,
Mm,
30 ish.
okay,
Yeah.
so she's not like young and dumb.
No, I usually date a lot of
She's
girls
just
that age.
old and dumb.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I would say she's hopeful. She's like very like I think this is the trap of like going to compassion. Now it's like flipped right now
Oh
where
yeah.
we're like maybe it's a little bit too far, but like
It's overcorrected.
yeah, yeah. Well, this is the first step of it, and we'll see where it goes. Right?
Yeah.
We had like a huge shift in compassion. Now we're going other way of more like rules and policies, like
Mhm.
follow it to the T and stuff like that. I just hope they do that and stuff like that. Because I have my doubts too, like with like the USA ID. Do you notice that Democrats call it US aid?
What's US aid?
So it stands for like United States, like for United States agency. Like it was for, like it's for foreign assistance and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And they you could look and see that they like support you. They like help Ukraine, like the citizens. It's an idea to like give money to outside of America to like help people
Oh,
and
got it.
policies and perhaps do some things. But Elon came in with Doge, right? It's
There was
trolling.
already a
I'm pretty sure.
Dogecoin.
I'm pretty
It
sure.
is, and fuck that
Yeah,
guy.
it's
Like as a general, fuck Elon Musk. Like I fucking hate that
I
guy.
think he's fine. I think
I
he's
think
fine.
he's a fucking piece of shit for fucking doing the Nazi salute. And yes, it was a
I
Nazi
don't think it
salute.
was
I would
so
have
wrong.
maybe
That's
like
so wrong.
argued against it if he didn't go to fucking Germany the next week and like talk to
That
the
doesn't. This
alt
is,
right fucking people over there and go, hey, you should be proud of your culture. You know, try to forget whatever you guys did. That's not your fault. But it's like, no, you should like
I
learn from
agree with that
history.
though.
I know you
You
should.
should be proud of
No,
yourself.
not if like who your fucking people were like
You could avoid
did what
that
you
stuff.
did.
I don't think Elon's there because Elon has done a lot of good stuff before, like this point when he like aligned with Trump. But
Totally
it's
money.
money too. But I don't. Then why do you say it's Nazi? Because Nazi is a specific thing of like hate against like
I'm
Jews
not
and
saying
stuff.
he is a Nazi. I'm
That's
saying
literally what it sounds like what you're
no, no, no,
saying.
no. I said fuck him for doing that because
Oh,
what he's trying to
okay,
do
okay,
is get
okay. That's
people
different. That's different.
behind him.
I
And these
see.
fucking Nazi people, the alt-right people in Germany,
I
he's
I
playing.
I believe
He's fucking playing.
I don't believe there's like this population of Nazis
You
that
don't
calls
believe
themselves
it?
Nazi, yeah, that live in America that are like calls themselves Nazis. Yeah, I don't really believe that there's this huge population
We'll
of
see.
Nazis.
We'll fucking see. In Germany, there are.
I hear a lot of people about Germany. From my experience from talking to you and my family and stuff about Germany,
They're super liberal.
or like some, and it seems like a terrible place to live.
I mean, it's pretty great. I've spent time there.
Right, right. From a third person for me,
Aside from
it's
the
freaking terrible.
aside from the fucking weather, yeah,
I have family there and stuff, so
yeah, I'm
but
pretty sure they're
it just
living the
sounds
life.
it sounds terrible.
I mean, rent's cheap.
Sure, sure.
Fucking what, 800 euros for like a 2 bedroom.
I mean, rent could be cheap here if you live in in the middle of nowhere. Definitely not.
I'm
Definitely not where
talking.
we live.
Yeah, no, I'm talking like main city Berlin.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
no, I think what Elon's doing is a play to gain support from a certain group of people that just so happen to just blindly fucking believe
Okay,
a crazy thing.
let's go deeper in this. So
Sure.
why would he want to do that? What do you think he's trying to accomplish with this
Because
group of Nazis?
division kind of breeds fucking
Money
chaos,
and gets
breeds
money?
fucking yeah. Like they probably want support from that big group of people because
Uh-huh.
where there is one side, there is the opposite side.
Do you think Nazis make a lot of money though?
Yes,
What do you think they do?
because most of them are conservative, and conservative people have historically a lot of money, old money, especially like old
Okay.
America, like old, like you've been here for years.
Uh-huh.
Conservative,
But
most people.
But I think there was a paper showing that old money usually is lost after like a couple generations because they don't know how to use them, like the nepo babies and stuff.
I don't know.
So well, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Well,
The Hamptons. I don't know.
there's names, right? There's a yeah.
Yeah.
There are certain names, but like in general, there's always new wealth being created.
Texas tycoons. I mean, yeah, that's the thing.
I would make an argument that liberals actually have a lot of billionaires. The celebrities,
So
Taylor Swift and
yeah,
stuff. Those are the billionaires that support the Democrats, right? They have like just as much money as, and a lot of them support. They had the cringy
Gosh.
Avengers for Kamala. It was so cringy.
but like, yeah,
So,
nobody
like, both
gives. Nobody
sides
really
have
gives a
their money.
shit what celebrities say. That's,
Oh yeah,
like I don't give a
dude,
fuck what
the
celebrities
era
say.
of celebrities is like over.
Yeah, it's all about micro celebritism.
Influencers,
Yeah,
like us.
like no, we're not. No, I would say like YouTube people. That's the thing about the politics today is like even I noticed the shift in terms of like what the Democratic Party was before, like Clinton, Obama, and then what it is now. Even like the Republican Party, it's different from when it was
Bush.
Bush's time.
Let's hold off because like the only other Democrat Republican Party is Trump, right?
Now,
Yeah, because it's Bush and then it's only been Trump.
well,
Right.
before it was Reagan.
Right. I'm just talking about the most modern. So
I know.
it was Reagan. It was Reagan, then Bush's father, and then Bush. So a little bit of nepotism there.
Nepotism, like Trump hired his whole fucking family to do
Yeah, in
something,
his first term. Yeah, his first term.
and then he wants to talk about DEI people.
This is his second term.
Hey,
I agree.
no, even his second term has people from his fucking family.
Not as much as the first. The first was
Sure.
literally like that. But I don't know any first term. His whole cabinet is different. Is different actually.
But I'm
His whole
even willing
cabinet.
to argue,
That's-
even though
I don't think that's
I don't know his whole cabinet.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna assume that all of them are right for the job. Like, are they really by
You shouldn't
definition?
assume. You shouldn't
Sure.
assume.
But
I think
I'm
that's
just
correct.
saying that because he's also fucking assuming that everybody that is a DEI hire is not right for the job.
That's true. I
which
agree.
is so
That's true, but I don't believe in the DI policy in general. While like his hiring thing for the job, a lot of I think a lot of the people he selected, like some of the people he selected were like previous Democrats and things like RFK. He was an independent.
yeah.
Yeah, he sounds like a freaking he sounds like Golem from Lord of the Rings or something.
Like, I wanna know what's wrong.
He has a disease or something. I looked it
It's a
up once at
disease?
Google.
Don't like
I tried to hear his voice before because it's unpleasant to listen to,
Is
honestly.
it always been unpleasant, or is it like
For a while, for my dude, I watched his congressional hearing. Bernie Sanders was there. He essentially accused all of them of money laundering, like accepting money from pharmaceuticals and stuff like that.
RFK?
Yeah, it
Ooh.
was crazy.
I mean, big pharma is fucked
Yeah,
up.
big pharma. Yeah,
Our whole food industry is fucked up.
he's maybe a little bit extreme, especially with vaccines, because he wants to like get rid of all like do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff I agree. Other stuff like yeah, like that stuff,
The
not
food
necessarily.
stuff I can get on
Yeah,
board with.
exactly. Yeah, the food for sure.
Make Arizona iced tea 99 cents again.
Dude, I
Make that
remember
hat.
that. I was
Yeah.
in like college. It's a good
Yeah. It
time.
was a good time. Like,
And
you could
then
afford things.
yeah, I mentioned Tulsi Gabbard. She was the leader of the DNC for a while. They do the Democrats need to like they need to shapen up because they will lose the next because if you watch their hearing to select their leader, oh my god, it was
Mm,
terrible. They were singing, talking about they were doing like some math problem of trying to figure out it needs to be balanced between two men, two women, and trying to keep it like genderly equal and also race equal, and then make sure
yeah.
that when people have no points, they can still continue because they need to have a balance of gender. And in the end, they just picked two white men still. But it was like,
Maybe that's
man,
their, like, their
man,
yeah.
that's what I hate about the Democrat. But like that whole it's not necessarily the policy. I think a lot of Democrat policies do help the working man, right?
Yeah.
And help because the Democrat was about like I imagine FDK Franklin Roosevelt, World War II,
FDR.
yeah, FDR with
Mhm.
the Great New Deal and trying to make jobs and trying to build
Right.
the working class. And I agree with a lot of that. But now it's just what's it?
That's what I'm saying, that
Identity politics.
because
I hate that. That's actually the main reason why. So like one idea,
that's what I'm saying
five.
with the whole shift. Like, they used to be about something, now it's about something else,
Yeah,
and the working class used to always be behind Democrats, and now
the
the
working
working
class
class
is
is
with
now
the Republican.
Republican,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
also young collegiate fucking bros.
Yeah, like myself.
Jesus Christ. This bro
Bro
fucking
culture.
Bitcoin people.
What's wrong with that though?
I don't I think the fact that it's such a cultural wave of just like, if it's popular, if it's a meme,
Mhm.
if it's funny,
Uh-huh.
like, go for it. But if it's like something that might be serious, I don't think sincerity is a thing anymore.
I think they're sincere and they're truthful in what they want to do. Well, what am I trying to say? I think they are doing what they believe
Sure.
is right, I guess.
Do it in a weird way.
But is that's your judgment
They
of
do it in
weird,
a
right?
weird way to gain support from the audience that they know.
Are there well, maybe like Elon, you may are for that, but
And even
like
Trump.
but the general
Even like I followed closely his campaign. It was much different than the first time around.
right.
This time around
I believe first
he
time he didn't actually think he would win.
he was just trying to create big waves, big splashes.
Right.
So this time around he just went on a bunch of podcasts.
Mhm.
He went on a bunch of like play golf with me videos. And the
Uh-huh.
person that I saw on those videos is not the same person that campaigns publicly on the news.
Sure.
Like, it's a different vibe. So it's like, this whole word of he code switches depending on where he goes.
I saw like the first time he was sort of playing the rules of what a politician should try to be like, but with his twist of what now he's sort of saying like, fuck it, I don't really care.
I'm not saying the difference between the two terms. I'm saying even this second term, he'd be on one podcast acting one way, like very chill, like a cool uncle. And then he'd be on like the news and just be like, I'm the President Trump, like blah, blah, blah. We need to do this. Well,
I didn't see that. I didn't see that
Why?
because
Because did you watch any of any of the YouTube stuff?
yeah, I did.
Like the ones where he actually also played golf? Like, he's not the same loud
I
person.
watched Joe Rogan and things like that.
Right.
You're not supposed to be loud on a golf course, and he plays
But
golf
even
all the time.
did you watch there's the one, what is that called? I forgot the comedian. He has like a mullet. He's like a very blue collar, like, "Hey, I talk
Oh,
like this guy."
I have.
Yeah, totally different. It was like
Well, that's sort of like his base, I guess, in a way, right? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. I mean, I think that's a little bit more I Trump gave a more authentic, I would say,
Authentic feeling.
feeling than Kamala. And I mean, Kamala just not she didn't release, but like I think the government forced C's 60 minutes to release their whole unedited cut of Kamala talking,
Oh,
and
jeez.
it was terrible
I didn't
from
even watch
her.
that.
It was terrible. So like, and they edited it so much. So and Trump didn't edit any of these like long form
Yeah.
things, and so I think everything you're arguing, the Democrats have done too. So like, so if you, what I'm not trying to say
I
they did
I'm just
this,
saying
that,
in
but
terms of tone,
right,
like, his style changes depending on where he's at.
yeah, that's normal.
I'm just saying it's much different than even his first time around where it was just, like, strong and blah, blah, blah.
Because well, he didn't go on in any of these things.
So he
Yeah,
had, like, this whole other plan agenda, which didn't seem very strong-handed,
right,
and then as soon as he gets on the news, it gets
yeah,
strong-handed.
right. I think he thinks about he probably thinks of them as enemies, right? He probably thinks like that.
I
But I
don't know.
believe
I don't know.
because he got in fights with Fox, which like supposed to be his, like, especially in his first term, and then CNN and stuff have never liked him.
I just think ever since he became president, the news has been less trustworthy.
The first term, or yes, his first,
Like
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
every news
They,
outlet has become
they
fucking insane.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, Joe Rogan sort of mentioned that with like Oprah, not Oprah. I forgot her name. Frick. Well, she's on The View, but essentially, like The View used to really like Trump. Like when he would come up, they were like, "Oh, we love you" and stuff
The
like that.
View fucking
And
sucks.
now The View hates him. Well, yeah,
Well, I hate The
this
View,
is like,
so
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I don't hate or do any of that. I think they're stupid and stuff like that.
yeah.
But try to see it. I don't know. We will all see it in sort of some
I
kind of
watch
perspective.
I watch a lot of every part of the news
Right. Me too.
tidbits,
Me too.
and fucking Fox is insane.
Right. They both are insane. CNN is insane too.
But, like, the way they really just, like, cup the balls of Trump, just, like, everything he does is perfect.
Now they do,
It's
but in
insane.
2016, they tried to demolish him in, this first term,
Right.
but now they fell in line. It's
It's
pretty funny.
well, that's what he did. He
Ah,
he
they bo
he
yeah,
he made the Republican Party
yeah.
form around him.
Well, yeah, they say
Insane.
it's a Trump movement. Right now, I mean, Obama had his thing too. There's the
I mean,
Obama movement, right?
Obama was great.
Right, because
He
I voted for that
he
guy
yeah,
too.
he was great.
Right, but I think Trump is now a different version of that. He's also, like, enthusiastic and blah blah. I don't know. There's like he created a new wave. So I'm very interested. I'm very interested of after his term. There's people saying he probably would agree that he'll try to get third term or something like that.
Oh my god.
But I don't. I hope he doesn't, and that'd be really stupid, and I wouldn't agree with
Well,
that at all.
right.
But so then his predecessor, I think, would be very interesting.
I j I don't I'm not excited for it.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I agree with at least the cultural stuff. I don't agree with all of DEIs, that stuff.
What cultural stuff?
DEI culture
Oh,
stuff, like stuff like that.
I mean,
Identity politics.
I don't know to the extent of which I've experienced DEI. Like,
And
I
there
don't
was
think it's influenced me positively, so I don't or negatively.
I think the culture of it is really bad. I think it's a racist
Like, have you experienced DEI, whatever it
like
is?
me. Yeah. Like in its DEI way, it's like a
What is the
victim mentality thing.
what is the
It's
definition?
essentially affirmative action.
Uh-huh.
It essentially gives a certain group of people edge up over another group of people.
In what
Yeah.
way?
Funding.
So, would you agree that some people living in America today
Mhm.
have been, like, less of an advantage for a time?
Yeah, some people, but in America, you still have the because like when I was growing up, I had my family pretty much grew up in poverty, right?
Mhm.
And we had no money, not a lot.
Yeah.
With 4 kids, right? I was living off government stuff, which is
Sure.
great for like Democrat stuff, right?
Right.
That's like the funding.
That could be considered DEI, no?
No, DEI is something else.
But
And,
historically, like,
that's like
the poorer people of America,
no. The idea of America is you have equal opportunity. That's why I believe. That's why I believe in equal opportunity.
but it's never equal. Like, if it's an
Yes, Yes,
If it's an
but
unfair playing field
uh
to start, is that equal?
uh, no,
Like, since you came here, it's
uh,
not equal because you don't have that
I
generational,
think
like,
you need to agree
experience.
that you only do the best you can, and
Sure.
I don't believe that you can make everything perfectly equal, but it's equal opportunity, so it's open to opportunity. So I don't agree with that. What
Right.
you
You don't
the
agree with that.
scenario
And
that you
some
just
people
brought
would
up.
agree that since he doesn't start as like a level playing field, the way to level it out is maybe put a little bit more eyes on people that could be missing out on opportunities
Okay,
because of their
let's
circumstance.
let's go to the scenario of DI essentially. So DI would pick individuals, right? So there was a study in universities where in Harvard or Yale or something
Mhm.
where Asian kids usually work really hard, right? It's like,
Sure.
and they would get in. So they would get in high percentage. So most of these universities now had a lot of Asians. So
UCI.
when affirmative action or DI came around, they actually had it so that Asians had to perform higher, right? And then Latinos and blacks had the bar was lower. Yeah. This is actually a lawsuit. And
Did not
these
know
schools
this.
were sued. This is a
It's too many fucking Asians.
yeah. So that's a form of discrimination, right? But I talked
Sure.
to some people that would say no because these black Hispanics, right? They needed to boost up. So and these Asian, but like it should be based on merit.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that is a and I specifically know people who change their last name and first name to not be Asian, so they wouldn't be
Really?
discriminated. Yes.
Holy shit. No,
So that
that's the last name.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. Like,
Wong.
legit. They
That's
were I
totally
know
Wong.
I've heard people say that this is they deserve this because they were privileged to have a family or they like, you just make excuses out, like, the out thin air to say they
Hmm.
have this, they have parents, they have this.
If I don't know that that happened, you say it happened, I believe it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I guess my idea of DEI is just like, okay, if there's like two good candidates and they're like both
That's
the
ideal.
same,
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you
like
there.
we should maybe, and we look at
Yeah.
our office and it's like,
Sure,
oh
sure.
fuck.
No, no, I agree with you.
It's a sausage fest in
Well,
here.
I wouldn't say it's because of color or anything. It would be like because they maybe look different, something.
Yeah,
They might be in a different
the standard
culture.
should be the same,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
I'm more on the lines of like, yeah, if they need like financial help, why not? If
Yeah.
they're a brilliant, bright mind, they're not going to
Yeah.
waste the money.
There's a lot of right now because DI is like hit. There's a lot of arguments for and against it, and if you just listen to a lot of them, a lot of the for have no grounding, and a lot of against there's a lot of arguments against it.
Mm,
Essentially, if you have a DEI hire essentially and they can't perform the task, you're essentially lowering the bar, like a
right.
doctor, and they can't perform the task, then
But does
that's
that really exist on the
yeah.
doctor level?
Well, just this is just theoretical, right? In that sense,
Right.
if we were to do that, and
But
that's what DI is promoting,
but I would
right?
assume that if there are two doctors, they went to the same schooling and the same
But how did they get there, right? This is the whole thing about the
money,
right. So
financial help.
the counter argument to a lot of these DIs, like, well, if for the Asians, I think there was like a guy who went on a news channel and they were like trying to argue against like no, there's why don't you go against like like essentially legacy, right? Students
Mm,
are and they tend to be white, right? And
yeah.
they agreed you shouldn't allow this, and that would actually if you free that up, you allow more people to come in, but it's there it
Wait,
shows
legacy in terms of what?
essentially their parents went in, so therefore their kids should go in to university. They pay more money, right? Things like
Mm,
that. So it's like,
okay. It's like, well, this wing is my last name, so you should let me in this
well, they
college.
know so because like that parent would pay a lot of money, right,
Right.
to that. So it's
But
like that.
but that's also been a thing.
But instead of removing that, they just add this like DEI thing.
I think in a vacuum, none of this should exist, but because the other exists did for so long.
I think everyone wants to get rid of that legacy thing. Like
Of
I
course.
don't know anyone, conservatives and
There's so many people that just like pay their kids off to like graduate. Like you've heard of these scenarios.
I don't know anyone personally to be honest,
But
but
like I don't know any
what do you mean of course not? You're saying like it's just, it's
but
common.
you've heard of these things.
I don't know
They
if it's true
happen.
though. I don't know if it's true.
I
And while the Asian thing, I know people who did that
right.
and things like that. So
I mean,
I've experienced it too.
there's too many Asians.
Well, yeah, because
There's too many of them.
India. Well, it's because
I
we're
don't consider India Asian. They're Southeast Asian or
Whoa.
whatever you want to
They're
call
not
them.
Southeast Asian at
What are
all
they?
either. They're called South Asian.
South Asian. What
Southeast is me,
I call Indians Indians. They're
dude.
so big that they're their own thing.
Oh, so it was like a cultural shock to me. So in my professor in grad school, I had my whole lab was Asian.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, well, what's it's
Light
Asian.
skinned jungle?
So
Jungle
that's the
like
thing.
us or what?
So there was a Korean person, Japanese person, a Chinese person. There's me, Vietnamese.
High class Asians surrounded
Vietnamese.
by
I'm high class. What are you
Yeah,
talking
you're
about?
high class.
Yeah, I am high class. I think of myself higher than all of us. Yeah.
Uh,
But then there's also a Bangladesh guy. And I was like, well, we're all Asians here. And I totally ignored that guy. And I was like, oh shit, you're right. He is Asian.
See,
Oh,
that's
fuck, that's a culture shock.
so
to
the
me.
first time I ever heard of somebody considering Indians Asians was a European.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Latinx.
no way, really? They call them Asians, and I'm like, I just call them Indians.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Asians, we don't.
Wouldn't they want that though? Wouldn't they want to not be grouped? Like,
Well, Indians don't even want to be called Indians, right?
really?
Yeah, because in the India, there's like, there's the Punjabi people.
Is that all different?
Well, yeah, because India was
Oh,
not
God.
India because British came there and said, "You guys are India," and
Oh,
like India is actually like Europe. It's
Okay.
literally like Europe.
Okay, so it's one of those like they came in, they drew a bunch
Yeah,
of
yeah.
borders, and they
Mhm.
started labeling
Yeah, yeah.
things. But
Fran- yeah.
actually, we're fucking different people.
France almost did the same thing with Vietnam. They called Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Indo-Asia, Indo-China or something,
Uh-huh.
and they marked it France. But then like they fuck it and stuff like that.
They said, never mind.
Yeah,
we, we.
yeah, it was called Indo.
I gotta get my
Indochina.
Indian friends out here.
Dude, you're not very good in
We-
your
yeah.
cultures, dude.
No, I'm not. I don't care. Like, why would I care? Shout out
Oh,
my
yeah,
Indian
you
homies.
should, you should.
Come on to the podcast. Apurva, I know you have a lot to say.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. They are very passionate because in COVID I was living with two Indian guys and
Super passionate.
they had different. They were from like south and north and they were totally different. This is how I
Don't they
know this
hate each
stuff.
other? Do they fight all
They
the
don't hate
time?
each other, but they have policies. I know one was from.
They just like,
It was like it's the most conservative part of India, like area. Oh, freaking totally forgot. Sorry, but it's actually like
Don't
yeah,
say sorry to me.
they didn't like each other's policy. It was funny.
well, I've worked for now an Indian company or an Indian like ran
Sure.
mass
You can say
company.
Indian company. yeah.
Sure. And a Chinese
Chinese?
one.
What do you like?
They both like at the extremes of their worst personalities,
Uh-huh.
both horrible. Both absolutely like
How?
I don't know. It's just like when they become the worst versions of themselves, like their culture kind of takes over. So the Indian one was very like caste system based. Like in that company that I was at, they treated the women that even worked for their own company horribly.
How so?
Okay, so I had a manager who was not great, right? She wasn't great, but she was nice to us. So we were nice to her. Was she good at her job? Not really. Was she good at pretending to be good at her job? Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So everyone that worked like under her, like all
Yeah.
my coworkers could agree, like she was terrible. She was so good at looking busy, but taking credit for our work.
Yeah.
And just being nice about it. So we were like, okay, cool. But her manager, a guy, would like just like hate on her, even without like us telling
Like
them or
sexism,
like
essentially.
yeah, total like sexism. So there was like a whole higher up thing where they came down and met everybody. And I just noticed like, even though, you know, I'm a guy and like I kind of experienced like a positive reaction from this, they would come down and like we'd all bro out. Like this is like my manager's manager would come down, hang out with only the boys.
Uh-huh.
And like pretty much like, oh, so like, what's up, everybody? Like, you guys are awesome. And then like totally ignore the girls.
Was okay.
Yeah. So it was just like, I felt that amount of favoritism. But even then, I felt that it was weird.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's probably culture, but I mean, we're now my place working at I don't know, it's Chinese, right? A lot of
Fucking
Chinese people.
Chinese, dude.
And they just like being with guys with guys, girls with girls. I don't even
It's
think I don't even
so
think it's
weird.
sexism. They just like to be with each other, and it's fine. But like, it's also very petty a little bit, right?
It's very petty.
Anyways, whatever. I don't really care. Let's switch to like work stuff. I actually wanted to talk and like politics and stuff. I want to talk about one last thing for end.
I've been known to not talk about politics,
I've been
but
thinking about it a lot. That's why.
fucking, we live in it. Everything's
exactly.
political.
Well, I dated a girl and she was like, huh? brought
Yeah.
up politics. I'm like, I don't want to talk about
So did you
whatever.
bang her?
No, it
Oh,
was virtual. Do you have what virtual? Yeah, sex.
I thought liberals, give it up faster than conservatives.
I think if I definitely played my cards, I don't want. I'm authentic to myself. Anyways,
No, you gotta
I
code switch, dude.
wanted to talk about Star Wars, the fate of like Star
Mm.
Wars. Star Wars has been in a rut, and I know you're a Star Wars fan.
Yes.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Still?
I think Star Wars has been pretty bad. I think that there's had viewings, showings, and viewership of the Skeleton Crew. It's not very good.
What? I
Not very.
watched.
One
Did you
more
watch
person.
it?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay. Then
One person.
so what are you gonna talk about the Skeleton Crew if you haven't watched
I
it?
wasn't going to talk about Skeleton Crew. I
Oh,
want to
okay.
talk about what do you think the direction of Star Wars you think they should do, because
I
there's so many bombs now. They're doing their hotel experience
Yeah, it's gone.
is gone,
It's
and now
gone.
now it's an office place for Disney and stuff like that.
Oh, good repurposation of that.
Yeah, the Ray movie doesn't. Who knows
Okay,
what's gonna happen with that?
if there is one possible DEI hire that I don't think should have been, and I do believe in DEI to a certain amount, is in Star Wars. Fuck out of here,
Kathleen Kennedy.
Kathleen Kennedy. Fuck you, and for what you fucking did.
I think it's because of people like
What
her.
the fuck?
Because people like her, they are pointing DIE like even more so because of people
That
like
is the
her.
main example that I.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that I think about it,
Exactly.
God damn it.
That is one of the most, and maybe that's where most of my hate comes from.
Honestly, I am for helping people that need help, that could
I am
possibly
too.
be, somebody great.
Right.
Help them.
Yeah, I'm too.
And if that in definition is DEI, yes. But Kathleen Kennedy, Star Wars, bad DEI. That is bad.
Well, that's why I said you should base off someone's merit. You shouldn't
Sure.
be doing it on their skin color or anything.
Sure.
It should be about the work.
Okay.
But to be fair, she worked right under George Lucas, right under.
Oh, I bet you did. Oh, bet you.
Okay, but she was there, and so honestly, it made sense.
What was she doing?
I don't
wanna
know. She
know.
was like the producer or something, and she gave
Making
him coffee or
copies?
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. But she was there, and so it was okay. I think the pick was fine because she had experience. I wouldn't say it wasn't necessary. She
Sure.
had the resume and stuff, but like after she totally did not make a plan, like I think
Okay.
it's proven now.
You know who else was there?
The sequels.
You know who else was there? C-3PO. Would you give him a lightsaber?
No,
No, but he was there the whole time with Luke Skywalker and shit.
dude, Luke Skywalker was barely in the sequel movies, dude.
Yeah. Well,
But I'm curious, like, what do you think? Like, do you think the Grogu movie, and because I have less faith in Dave Filoni now and the other
What?
guy,
no.
because
If
Ahsoka sucked. Ahsoka
What?
sucked so much.
I think what they need to do is if you have like your name on the show, direct everything. Stop handing it over. Stop
Are you
getting
talking
your
about, like,
friends
the
involved.
trilogy. Oh,
Like every episode of like even Mandalorian, they started just like giving it to people. Like, I like her, like give it to her or give it to him. It's just like, no, just give it to the guy who created all these characters. I think he would have the best idea.
George Lucas?
No, I mean, no, for like Rebels and stuff. Like that's like all Dave Filoni things, right?
Did he make? I don't know.
Yeah,
if
that
in his
was
cartoon,
like
did
his.
he make all of them?
So that's what I'm saying. He was like the main brainchild of that, and before that, George Lucas pretty much gave him the blessing to be like, okay, you have understanding of Star Wars, the
Sure.
Force, and all these things. You're the guy. And then when they did Mandalorian, first season was great, and then season 2 was like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
get
right.
like some more people involved.
Right.
And I'm just like, I don't know, like there's too many brains. There's like too many cooks.
You know what I think will happen, and this is like not my thought, but there's a lot of people out there saying this. Especially Disney got involved. They saw
Oh yeah,
how popular it was, and they wanted to make it like a Marvel type thing,
right.
and they just wanted to make it like introduce other. And so like after season 3 became pretty bad because like Grogu, like if you follow, I think season 1, season 2 were really good because like they had a plan.
Yeah.
And Grogu was gonna go with Luke Skywalker, and then spoilers, whatever. But and then Mandalorian is gonna do his own thing, right?
Yeah.
It's been out for a while, and but then like season 3, they came back. It's like literally nothing happened, and
I don't know what's gonna happen.
that's why I say I don't,
Acolyte,
dude.
what the fuck?
I thought the Last Jedi and like Rise of Skywalker was bad. That's actually worse because
So when you think about Acolyte in terms of like what happens in the beginning in terms of like the story that they wanted to tell,
Yeah.
Like, it's not that big and complex of a story, but they decided to tell it in such a colluded fucking way to where they, like, revisited the same story again from beginning to end almost, or from
Yeah,
middle to end because you don't know what happened in the beginning,
yeah.
right? It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
"Okay,
that's
let's
right, that's
switch it up
right.
again and,
Yeah,
like, tell it over in somebody else's, view,"
yeah.
and it's like,
Dude, they didn't do it in someone else's view. It
to me,
was
that's just fucking lazy.
yeah,
Like, you're using the same shots. It's not even cool what's happening.
yeah.
Like, what did we get from this? Nothing. You killed off the coolest fucking person,
Who was that?
the chick from The Matrix. What's her name?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
In the first episode, and then by the time we see her again, we're just like, well, I don't care. She's gonna die.
Well, I don't think they wrote her well because she was like generic Jedi master,
Yeah.
everything, so they didn't use her well, and, the Korean guy, I forgot, from,
Squid
Squid
Game.
Games,
Oh
he was
god.
wasted, he was good too,
Totally
but
wasted.
he was wasted, and then, Kamir, that guy, the stranger, he was good
I
too,
like
but he was
him I
wasted.
like him as an actor.
Exactly,
Like,
he was
I'm
good.
surprised that he was that
He was
good
good.
because the first time I noticed him was in The New Place, and
Yeah,
I thought, "Oh, he's just like a dumb guy," but, like,
yeah.
he's really good at playing dumb.
No, he was good. I as an actor, but the way he was written, the way he was depicted was so bad,
Yeah.
and then the main female actor, the twin, oh my god, she was
She
not
is the
good.
worst.
She was bad.
Tell me something good that happened to you today.
I did a hike that for 2 hours. It felt good. Painful, but good.
Okay.
I ate something spicy and I think it hurt my stomach. I don't think I can eat spicy food or wine anymore. It sucks.
Okay, now my twin is gonna walk into the room. Can you tell him something, like, that you're surprised about?
I can't tell.
Now tell me something that surprised you.
There's no aliens. They don't exist.
That was it. There was 2 fucking people with the same fucking face, and she couldn't
Yeah.
act any more different,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, What?"
Well, I don't want to shit on the
It was
Acolyte because the Acolyte
awful.
sucks, but I'm trying to say like, what do you think? Well,
All
what
that
that's a,
sucked.
so we're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the
yeah.
future.
Let me get there.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Okay, so all that sucked, right? Ahsoka kinda sucked. It was good to see the people in live action, but in terms of story, it sucked.
yeah.
But
That's
it
what.
was good to see the people. Awesome.
Yeah,
Now, Skeleton Crew. What is it? I don't know.
I heard it
I
was good.
I liked it.
I heard it was good.
When I watched the first episode, I was like, "Oh no. Why are there cul-de-sacs? Why is
Yeah,
there like a neighborhood?" Like my initial because if I didn't watch Acolyte, if I didn't see all that shitty other things, I could watch the Skeleton Crew with an unbiased
exactly,
thinking it's not going to be
exactly,
shit. But
exactly.
when I watched the first couple of episodes, I'm like, "Oh no.
Yeah,
It's going to be shit. It's going to be another shitty thing with Jude Law." And I love Jude
yeah.
Law.
Jude
And
Law's
I'm
good.
tired of seeing him
He's
in
good.
shitty things. So I was surprised that when I kept watching, because I have that thing, once I start something, I just have to keep going because I got to know how shit, it
Sure.
got better. It did get better.
Right,
So I
right.
was like,
I heard it was
okay,
good. Yeah.
awesome. It's not what you think it's gonna be. It's kind of like this idea and peer into like a sector of the universe that was untouched by the other universe. Like
I know the
that
whole
is
story.
interesting.
Yeah, I know the whole story.
So I
Yeah.
thought that's cool. That's interesting. Like, yes, there are kids, but the kids are they're not annoying. They're kids,
Hmm.
you know? So I thought that's a good way to portray kids. They're not like
Sure.
ultra powerful. They're not ultra fucking smart, you know?
Yeah.
They're no Ray for no
Well,
reason.
Ray's not a kid.
I know, but like the argument that Ray was like this,
Yeah, she's a Mary
oh,
Sue.
a Mary Sue, whatever you want to call it, but she was a Palpatine, but then a Skywalker.
I mean, they didn't have a plan. That's what I
Right.
said. Like,
They
what do
didn't
you
have a plan.
what do you think they should go? Because this Grogu Mandalorian movie is before the sequels, and it's all gonna be a dead end. Like, I'm not excited for it. I think it's stupid
I don't know what's gonna happen.
because like
Like,
they ruined the sequels. Literally ruined it. They have to. I think there's another movie that one of the guys that he wants to make where he wants to make it like super far in the past. So he's sort of wants to do the origin of the Jedi, but then it's like, dude, you're just gonna ruin that. And he mentioned in his interview that he doesn't want to be held. He wants to pick some far in the past because he want to be held down by lore. But like that's why they bought Star Wars is to have the
Then
lore
do
and
it
the
in any other fucking movie
yeah, exactly. So it's
that
like
isn't Star Wars.
so after hearing that, I'm like, dude, this guy is not gonna make a good Star Wars movie either.
I just think you have to respect the past. You have to respect what's come before.
Dude,
And
let
if
the
you
past die. That's what this is what Kylo Ren said.
and if you don't, bad shit happens and it's going to repeat itself. If you
Right.
just like keep fucking ignoring the rules, like what the fuck? George Lucas is still alive, right?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
hasn't
he is.
died.
Yeah, exactly.
None of these shows have killed him yet.
He must have an NDA or something
Oh
like that
my
where he can't speak
god.
because he hasn't said too much. I think people know he's not happy, but he hasn't said
He's
a lot,
absolutely not happy.
right?
But at the same time, he's like,
But
well,
he sold it. He sold
he's like,
it.
Star
Yeah.
Wars is for kids, and it's always been for kids.
Yeah, yeah.
That's his. That is these are not quoted word for word,
But
but
that's what he said. You're
yeah.
correct. But it has a story, right? It's sort of like good for kids, but also for adults.
The shitty thing is there is a truth in that every Star Wars has a generation.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
loved it. Then we had
I
our
thought they
own.
were, yeah, they're
Then we
pretty
had
good.
our own generation Star Wars.
Yeah, one,
One,
two,
two,
three.
three,
Yeah.
which we did not like.
I liked it.
I think there was more a resurgence of liking it more after.
Maybe the haters, I always liked it.
Yeah.
I always liked it.
I mean, I like the fighting. Did I like the story? Did I like Jar Jar? No. Did I like original Yoda, puppet Yoda with the wiry, weird looking? No. I
Oh,
liked
really?
when they digitized them. Do
I
you
don't know.
remember old
I
Yoda?
do. I thought it
Ew,
was fine,
he looked weird,
but I thought it was fine.
but I liked it better when they changed him. 1, 2, and 3, great, awesome. The fighting, man, did we not
Fighting was really good.
know that that was gonna be like the epitome of
It
fucking
is apparently.
actual like lightsaber battle? Like
Until this day, it's
no
still the
stunt
best.
men. Like it was Ewan McGregor and
Yeah.
fucking Hayden Christensen. What I don't like is that they robbed us of the freaking extended Count Dooku fight.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
man,
That
that's so
I saw.
good.
No, they robbed us also of the Mace Windu and Darth Sidious because like George Lucas one day was like, "Oh, I want the actual guy who plays
Yeah,
Palpatine to
yeah,
fight." And I
yeah.
was like, "Okay." Then they
Why?
changed it
And
there.
he's like,
Yeah.
he's just like freaking snaky.
It's fun. It's fun and
Right.
stuff, but like,
But the original
man, you
like
should have like,
stunt one,
yeah.
oh sick,
Oh
dude.
man, that'd
Like
be cool.
holy
Yeah,
shit.
but anyway, even the downgraded form of that is still better than anything
Right,
the
right.
sequels did.
So then, okay, from what I heard, and what when I mean when I say when I heard, the internet, all of the sleuthing,
Sure,
is
sure.
that they didn't know who the main person was gonna be after The Force Awakens. Like they didn't choose the next person.
Really, if it's gonna be Ray
They didn't know if it
or
was gonna be Rey or Finn. And
Finn
it
is
was
cool. Finn
and
would
it
have
was
been cool
supposed to
too.
be Finn.
I heard that. I
Did you
heard
hear
that
this
rumor. I
too,
did hear
right?
that rumor.
Okay.
But it's such a rumor though. There's like no
I mean,
definitely no
I
evidence.
wouldn't doubt it because
Yeah.
they shop the movie around to like a certain demographical whatever.
The actor for Finn was really
He's
pissed off.
pissed.
He's pissed.
He's
He's
pissed.
super pissed. Yeah.
He's still pissed.
He's a good actor too.
I haven't seen him in much
Also
anything
his
else.
well, I thought he was good. I thought he was good. I maybe I gave him
Right.
too much there. Yeah, I know. But I he was very likable because like his in the first movie, Force Awakens, him and Isaac, whatever his name is, the guy who played
Oh,
Plo. No,
Poe.
Poe.
Plo
I almost
Koon.
said Plo Koon. Yeah,
Yeah.
Poe. It was really good, right? It was so good. People like wanted to ship them together, right? To be like a love couple or something.
Or like a fun bromance.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know.
I think
Yeah.
that would be cool. But the problem with the sequels is they never really got together and do like something together. Like Ray never really properly was with Poe until the very last movie.
Yeah, and even like that relationship that they built between the black dude and the Asian girl, that was
Oh, that
like
was so delayed.
non-existent at,
She's
at the third
Vietnamese.
one.
She's Vietnamese.
Dude, they were just like, all right, we're like a thing.
Even in the second movie, Finn was like, "What the fuck? You kissed me?" It wasn't even a thing. It was one sided.
Well, it was assumed there. Oh, it was assumed, there was like
No,
there was a
it
googly eyes
looked
connect
looked totally she was friend zoned. It totally looked that way for me.
that she
Like,
was friend zoned
yeah, yeah.
by the third episode.
No, just in that movie. Because
Uh,
when he was kissed, he was like dumbfounded. Like, why do that? I was gonna
But don't lie, when you watched the second one in the beginning,
huh?
and then you found out like that sister that did the bombing
I
and
was about
like
to say, dude,
killed.
I was so disappointed.
I was like, damn.
Yeah,
Why did the hot sister?
yeah,
The hot
exactly.
sister die.
Exactly. I was like, God damn it.
Oh man.
And she was like, she wasn't even, she was a Korean, I think, or something like that. But I was
Were you
like,
trying to say Koreans are hotter than Vietnamese?
No, not necessarily, but I was trying to say Vietnamese pride, but, anyways, like, couldn't be too happy.
Well, it's like everyone's trying to be Korean now anyways. Like Filipino chicks trying to look more Korean, they're into the
It's a trend.
K-pop.
It's a trend right now. You never even answer my question about what do you think the trend of the
Okay, so
where
Star
Star Wars will
Wars.
go in the
I
future.
don't know,
You trying to
but
go to Korean
I will say this. The Skeleton Crew, if there is a second season, there probably won't be. They shouldn't. As long as the
There won't
studios
be. There
as
won't
long as
be.
the studios don't know that there's money to be made, things will be good. But as soon as they think, "Oh, is that money? Like, I wanna be involved. I wanna put my hands in there. I wanna fuck it up." Like, that's my same belief in, like, the DC cartoons. There's not a lot of, like, big studio involvement. Like, they're doing their own thing. They can tell a story that they want,
Right.
and it's fucking good because it's not this big deal that needs to make all this money.
Is there a situation of you that you know of where a big company did go in and it was good? You think
Sonic.
you think s
Sonic is great. Why? Because they listen to their fans. We shamed them.
Right, right. I know, but I'm talking about is when a corporation went in and that's what they did. They went in
Oh,
and told the director.
hmm.
Yeah, Sonic was a good example
Yeah,
of
of
the
fans
fans.
talking,
Yeah.
saying, "Don't fuck up
That's
our
actually why I
dude."
like Sonic. That's why I watch
Yeah,
Sonic, like, every year and stuff.
and Jim Carrey,
Jim Carrey's good.
fuck yeah,
He's
dude.
good.
He
That
said
last movie was good.
he was not gonna do any movies anymore, and then he comes in and do Sonic.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Well,
awesome.
did you hear about after the second movie, he was saying how, "I won't watch I won't do this again unless, like, it was written f in gold ink," and the director literally had a contract for it in gold ink. Gave it
Wow,
to him.
dude. Yeah, I mean,
And he did it,
that's how great
the 3rd one. Good. I thought he was really funny in the newest
a
movie.
big studio came in.
Yeah, where like, where does this idea of that they have of going in, right, and just taking complete control, like, have they done is
I feel
there
like they
something?
oh, Cobra Kai.
Really? I haven't
Cobra Kai
seen
started off as a YouTube fucking, like, fan thing, and I swear it was, like, a very low budget, like, first season was, like, not on
that's where
Netflix.
the corporation went in and
I feel like,
did some
yeah,
you think?
like, Cobra Kai started off as, like, a fucking wet dream of just fans,
Yeah,
and, like
Cobra Kai was really good. It's crazy how good
yeah,
it is.
but then the studio came in, gave him more budget, and then it became way more popular, but then it got too popular.
But then Cobra Kai get sold so to
Sold to a
Nef
bigger
the
studio.
biggest oh,
Sony.
but then it got worse, I felt after
Then it
that.
got worse because it got too much funding, too much money.
That's the opposite of what I asked for.
But for a time being, it did get
So
better.
there is no
There's a sweet
there's
spot. There's a sweet spot where there's just like, "Hey, this is
no,
cool.
I'm
Let's fund
trying
it."
to do the extreme where,
W
like,
w
where you had so much money and the direct and the company's there, right? And they're like, maybe Marvel, maybe, Endgame, maybe that's it.
Sure. But
Maybe.
at the same time, Netflix started off as this studio that was like, "Hey, we don't wanna be involved. We're just gonna give you money.
Yeah.
Do your thing." But now we're at this, I wanna call it the Baskin Robbins fucking effect of there's just too much flavors out there.
Right.
And for me to have to sleuth through, "Oh god, I'm not gonna like that, I'm not gonna like that." Not everything on Netflix is for me, but my algorithm doesn't understand me either. So it's like, yes, there are things for people
Yeah.
everywhere, but Netflix used to be finely curated. Everything used to be good on Netflix. Like, inarguable, maybe plus and minus 2. But now there's too much fucking reality TV. There's too much fucking like weird rom-coms that like just from a filmmaker standpoint
Uh,
is not the best thing to consume all the time.
it's hard to tell because a lot of these streaming services do have a lot of information, like meta information of who's watched what,
Right.
and they probably go towards probably a lot of people do watch reality TV.
I know
That's
the
more of like a
audience is getting
feminine.
worse.
Yeah, yeah. And
Right.
also like they probably could train their audience too, right, in a certain way.
Absolutely.
And so these things are happening in real time, right? So
The pandemic was a big proprietor of this.
yeah,
Well, when the pandemic happens, everything is shut down. But
that's
how are
the
there
move
still
here.
movies coming out? Because studios, and I've heard this from studio people that I've worked with in the past, studios like to buy projects or films that have been already released. They hold on to them,
Right, right, right. That's
right?
normal.
They don't they vault them,
Right,
just like the WB vault with the
right, right,
Animaniacs,
right.
whatever. They hold on to them for a while.
Yeah.
And before the pandemic, we were getting pretty okay things. And then when the pandemic happened, they had no choice but to release these things that they were never really going to release unless
Sounds
whatever.
like a conspiracy theory.
Some studios just buy things so that they don't want to release, or they buy things because it's too similar
Yeah.
to something that
I know
they
what you
were
mean.
going to release.
Yeah.
Then they just started releasing these things,
Right.
and it was fucking garbage. But what
Yeah.
does that tell? What did that tell them? People would still watch it.
Right.
So that probably was a lot of information for them. It's like, hey, we don't need to even make good things anymore. We just need to have names. We need to have certain elements,
Yeah.
and they will consume.
Well, I think this is good and bad because like there's some content I think it's really cool. Like when I'm growing up, and this is like the whole nostalgia thing everyone like the big companies are into, where they like one thing that I'm watching clips of sometimes is
Hmm.
the 70s show.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know about the drama of 70s show of like Hyde. Like he did this whole grooming thing. Dude,
Yeah, I heard about
I
that.
didn't even know that existed. But
I heard
anyways,
about
that's a
that.
whole different thing, maybe another time. But they made like an 80s show and then like a 90s show.
Yeah.
And like these things wouldn't exist if it was a traditional
Did you
non-streaming,
like
right?
that though? Did you like the 90s and the 80s show?
Well, the 80s show is a complete bomb. That was before streaming, actually. So
Yeah.
the 90s show is the streaming one. And I think it was very nostalgic, at least the first episode, because you had characters that were in the 70s show that came in, like the parents.
Okay.
But then as you continued, it was very cookie cutter,
Hmm.
not very good. But I could tell that they were starting to create their own, they're starting to build up. And on season two, they sort of end. So it was starting to go somewhere, but it was taking some time. And the actors were younger, I think, than the cast of the original 70s show.
Which is funny because arguably back then, adults or like people in high school look like fucking 40-year-olds. And like the more the generations change, the younger people look and start to look.
Yeah, I think it's because like, yeah, just
That's just
we have
interesting.
nothing, we have nothing to stress about, so we just look younger. But like
Mm.
in reality, you could be smart even when you're young. That's the whole thing about the one big critique about Doge is that the people that Elon hired are like super young. Anyways,
Doge.
anyways,
Dogecoin. What does
okay,
that
yeah,
actually stand for?
I don't know, government efficiency, yeah, Doge, something like that. But anyways, cool. You never answered my question about the future of Star Wars,
The
but
future of Star Wars is unclear. As
like
long
where you
as
want it to go.
where I'd want it to go. I don't know. I think they just need to drop a big A bomb on everything and just
Start over. So
start
you think it's
over.
not savable?
Um, in terms of
Like this,
like,
essentially the Disney Star Wars
well,
stuff.
here's the question that I would probe to
Yeah,
Lucasfilms, whoever's owning it right now.
Kathleen Kennedy.
What what is the goal? If the goal is money, you're not making as much money as you should be.
Looking at Acolyte.
You're failing.
it was a therapy session for her.
Right. You are failing. If the goal is really money, you're
Yeah, you're
failing.
failing. Yeah,
So then you need to ask the next question. Like, how do we make money? The next question, the answer to that is please your fans,
right.
not fucking try to find new fans. You can
That-
do both.
That's exactly what. Yeah, they're trying to
You
find new
can
fans. Yeah,
you can do both.
that's what Marvel did actually. The beginning part of Marvel, because you had the comic book fans, and now you have like whole new generation. Now there's Marvel.
Let's switch to Marvel for a second.
Sure, dude. I wasn't planning to end this, but we're gonna
No,
go new target.
fuck
Go
you.
topic now.
You think this is your
Oh,
podcast?
No, we're gonna.
This is your podcast. Well, fuck you.
Okay, we can talk about Marvel.
I'm activated now. We're talking about all the things I want to talk about. Captain America.
Oh, the trailer came out. The new
That
one.
looks awesome.
Yeah, you think so?
They're talking about adamantium, bro.
Adamantium.
It's like we found a new
for the X-Men.
thing. It's adamantium.
Right? That's Wolverine's
That's
claws, right?
Wolverine's
Yeah, that's
motherfucking
right.
bones, bro.
Yeah.
So they also showed an image of one of the what is that? The fucking galactic people? Not Galactus, but like the Eternals. Remember the Eternals, the other flop?
Yeah.
They like
the flop.
found
some of the Eternal things.
one of the god things.
I don't know a lot about that yet.
Okay. I watched the Eternals, that sucked. Also,
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I heard it.
But anyway, I think we should watch Captain America when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm down.
On February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Oh, is that out on Valentine's Day?
Will you be my Valentine?
Yeah. I don't have a date. I don't have a freaking date.
Me neither. I actually
Jeez.
refuse to fucking be a part of that day. Like,
Dude,
I'm kind of
the
happy.
movies are probably crowded on that day, dude. It will be crowded.
So?
A lot of people will
You
take
don't
their
wanna be
dates on
crowded with
movies.
me?
No, no, I'm fine with that.
I wanna see all the dates. I wanna see
Okay,
all the dates on Valentine's Day who thought, "This is a good idea to take my date to a movie." Like,
yeah.
and see you fucking fail. That
So
is a terrible date.
so I'm actually a little bit opposite of you. I don't think it's gonna be good because there's so many rewriting of it, and
Yeah.
I heard from rumors that the Red Hulk and they're pushing a lot. He's not really in the movie a lot. That's what I heard too.
Mm.
So maybe I'm just eating a lot of bad, and also like I think I've been burned also by Marvel, and then just a lot of the DI things also from it came out,
You think
and so
Captain
I'm
America's
hoping
a DEI hire?
could be. Uh, but like
You think
could be.
Falcon shouldn't be
Well, especially the things he did from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's like the things he said there. Oh my god.
What did he say?
Well, he's like, you have to do better. So like the governor and stuff.
Mm.
I'm not big on like that like whole
I'm
thing.
curious how he's going to, like, and by lore, he doesn't have the serum. How is he
That
not
too.
gonna die?
Yeah. Well, I think he has an enhanced suit or
Is that
something.
suited like an exosuit all of a sudden?
I
I
have
thought it
no
just
idea.
flew.
That's also another thing. Like in just story wise, man, it should have been Bucky really because he has a super serum and stuff. It makes more
Right.
sense.
And he
But
has that robot arm.
whatever, it's fine. I think Bucky's a cooler character too because I don't care about a guy with a jetpack with a drone, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And he's got a shield
yeah,
now. He's got the
yeah,
shield.
yeah, he does have a shield. But like a lot of Captain America is that like wholesomeness ish, like of
Yeah.
traditional American views, and also like fish out of water.
But on the other side of that.
I don't know. He said in an interview that he said that I don't think Captain America represents America. It represents like blah blah other stuff. Anyways, he got this whole
Oh, is
thing
that
of
what he said?
during like the current political environment, right? So it didn't go well with a lot of the USA stuff, right? So
I mean,
and then I'm a little bit like that, right? So I'm like, yeah, but
I think it's just
I'm
like
gonna
a
hold my pain till I
maybe
see it.
it's another lens on America. You know? We're so used to looking at America.
What he put an Instagram post saying that no, I didn't say I hate America. He said like I'm a proud American citizen. So he like
Yeah.
corrected on that stuff. So
It's a
yeah,
different America. I think everybody experiences America differently.
that's bullshit. I don't believe in your freaking your own truth, some shit. I don't
No,
know.
like I'm just saying, like,
Freaking
like I didn't grow up to be you, right? And you didn't grow
how
up
does
to
that have
be
to do with
me.
America? That's just like living.
I know, but like the America we experience is different. Like, although we're in the same
That's just some
physical
colorful
America,
way of saying this is my life. That's
yeah,
stupid. That's just so stupid.
but we're bringing America in this because we're in
You don't need
America.
to. That's just so that's
I think it's necessary.
no, it's not.
We're in America, I swear. And you couldn't tell because there's no American flag
I
here.
want an American flag in
I
here.
know. I
Anyways,
mean, it'll be like the tiniest one on a drink, but
anyways,
no, I think I'm excited for that. I'm excited for Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolt looks good.
Thunderbolts looks
Thunderbolt looks
fun.
good. That looks fun.
That looks like
I like
kooky,
the
weird.
cast, yeah, and everything. I think that should be fun. I personally think Captain America won't do well. I think Thunderbolt will do okay.
Yeah. I just
Uh,
feel bad for Harrison Ford. Like, make him make a good movie again.
I don't.
You know?
This is probably a hot take. I don't even think he was even a good actor to begin with. I don't really like him.
Indiana Jones, bro.
It's okay.
Back in the day?
It's good. It's good. But he's like a one hit wonder with Indiana Jones. He's been nothing else good. Like even Star Wars. Like
What about when he played the president of the United States? You like what movie was that again? It was like a long time
isn't
ago.
that Captain America?
Oh, he played another one when he was the president of the United States.
He's parasailing a lot. He's a fine actor. I don't think he's like anything special.
Yeah.
He's not like a Tom Cruise where it's like running. It's fun to watch
Okay.
him run.
Okay. I just had a fever thought the other day because I was going on a Jackie Chan kick on Prime, and I was just like revisiting all the classic Jackie Chan movies.
Yeah, I really like him in
It's,
Rush
like,
Hour.
awesome. Not even Rush Hour. It was like Mr. Nice Guy. You ever watch that?
I don't remember.
Jackie Chan's First Strike too.
I watched all those old like Hong Kong movies when I was a kid.
Legend of the Drunken Master. Okay.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is a white Jackie Chan.
I can see that. I can see that.
Fuck you, Tom Cruise. Jackie Chan did it
What?
years ago, and nobody gave him shit. And to do that in the 80s, bro, like to be that successful as a Chinese person, he must have been fucking great.
Worked hard. He worked hard.
He worked
very
hard. That's why I'm like, I'm looking at all these.
That's why I say merit will shine through in that type of stuff. Like he went through a lot.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan. That's why you don't need this like yeah, I think the culture of the 90s and stuff was really good where
Dude, that's what I love about
we
these movies
uh,
too, because they're like time capsules.
yeah,
And it's like the production value, they had helicopters,
yeah,
jets, they disrespected animals back then, like, they had a shark,
yeah,
it
yeah.
was crazy,
Oh, that's
man.
funny. Dude, if you go even before that where they like did dinosaurs and they like brought ride horses and they or like elephants and they glue shit on them, like iguanas,
Oh
right?
my god,
Oh, it's
yeah.
funny what they did back in the day.
But those are, like, before
Yeah.
all the
Before it became too compassionate. I do believe it's good into 2000s where we're like so compassionate we care about like rocks and the environment and stuff,
Sure.
but man,
We used to blow shit up all the time.
I care more about friends and family than like freaking like use paper straws. Fuck paper straws.
Yeah. Those turtles were doing cocaine.
So yeah, I think we went way too far in compassion.
I mean, everything is an extreme of everything. We go too far in compassion, then it's gonna be now we just don't give a shit about anything. Then we don't give a shit about anything for a while, then we go back to
I think
compassion.
we were in a sort of good place. We are heading towards a good place in the 90s where we're like opening like in the 90s to 2004 and stuff like that, where we're like sort of colorblind, like colorblind culture and things like that. And it went crazy
You know why?
one direction.
Because they took our malls away.
I still go to malls.
But they're not as
Malls are
great.
different now though.
They're not as
They're
great
totally different. Yeah.
because malls were made for fucking entertaining people and,
Yeah.
like, it was awesome. But then when they
Well,
realized
look at Macy's and stuff. Those used to hold like these things together.
yeah,
They're dead.
but now they're like, "Oh, we just want malls to make money.
Yeah.
We don't care about, like, the fun things." Like, dude, the mall used to be a place to hang out. It was essentially like,
For teens, malls are a place for parents now. I go there with my niece and
there are no
nephews.
teens.
Well, I talked to with my family, and they were saying how there are no stores for teens now. Like
Mm,
they're either for kids or for adults, because the like Lululemon and stuff like that absorbed all the teens to like
mm,
wear their clothes. There's no
yeah.
like dedicated. There's the teen culture sort of dead.
Where's Wet Seal?
Yeah,
They took Wet
I
Seal.
don't know what that is, but yeah.
Wet Seal was a horrible place.
Oh,
Billabong, all those things, they're
yeah,
gone now.
yeah.
They're about to be gone.
There's no teen culture stuff now.
Yeah.
Teens essentially just become adults. They're sort of like they go straight from kids to like adults.
That is interesting.
Yeah, that's a whole thing about kids and stuff, shit like that, family raising and
I
stuff.
mean, I can say with some data that that could be true.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
crazy.
Cool, man. We'll have
Well,
dinner.
cool. Yeah, let's do dinner.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for talking.
What
Yeah,
was what was the name of this podcast, man?
I don't remember.
All right. Good spiel.
Good spiel.
Bye.
Later.